Unanimous consent that all members may have 5 legislative days in which to revise and extend their remarks and include extraneous material on H.R. 1471 as amended, and I submit for the record the exchange of letters with the Committee on Homeland Security and the Committee on Judiciary.
Without objection, so ordered.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield myself such time as I may consume.
The gentleman is recognized for such time.
Mr. Speaker, let me begin by thanking Chairman Schuster for his tremendous support and leadership on this bill. Few members of Congress have had a greater impact on reforming our disaster programs since Hurricane Katrina than Chairman Schuster. This bill represents another important step in that effort, and I greatly appreciate the Chairman's help. I also want to thank Ranking Member DeFazio and Ranking Member Carson for their bipartisan support of the bill. The FEMA Disaster Assistance Reform Act has 2 primary goals: to help save lives and to save taxpayer money. The bill helps save lives by fixing a long-standing problem that hinders the deployment of critical search and rescue teams between states. These reforms will help ensure our constituents receive the help they need when disaster strikes. Additionally, this bill helps save money by improving the cost-effectiveness of FEMA's existing disaster assistance programs. For example, there are provisions that will speed up reconstruction and lower administrative costs. The bill also saves money by encouraging smart recovery practices and mitigation to lower the costs of the next disaster. And the bill commissions a comprehensive review of the growing disaster losses the nation has experienced over the past decades. Experts estimated over $1 trillion of disaster losses have occurred in North America since 1980. FEMA alone has spent almost $200 billion on over 1,300 major presidential disaster declarations since 1989. These numbers are going up, and we should try to find ways to bring those costs down over time. It has been over 20 years since we've had a comprehensive look at disaster spending. It's time for a big-picture assessment of what is driving these costs and to review if we, as a nation, are responding in the most appropriate and cost-effective way. Right after I became a member of Congress, my district was hit hard by Hurricane Irene and Storm Lee. I saw homes destroyed, lives and livelihoods upset. Disaster relief is critical at times like these, and people need help to rebuild their lives and to rebuild their communities. But as I witnessed the recovery, I was amazed that folks were rebuilding back in the very same place, in the very same way, leaving themselves just as vulnerable to the next storm. We have to be compassionate and responsive to our citizens, but we also have a duty to be a good steward of the taxpayer dollars. I am committed to establishing this study to see if we can tackle these tough issues and find solutions that are driven by facts and data, rather than the emotion that inevitably follows a disaster. These reforms are one of my top priorities this Congress. At the end of the day, the purpose of this bill is to ensure help will be there when disaster strikes and our constituents need that help the most. Thank you, and I reserve the balance of my time.